Can we start, Dr. Ravi?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Let me just check with Dr. Sailesh Naik because we are unable to hear him, but I'm able to see his name. Just 1 second.
It's nice to see all the
4855
choice.
177.
So, good afternoon and good morning to all of you. Dr. Ravi Chandran, Chairman INCOIS GC and Secretary MOES. Dr. Pierre, Bahurel, Director General of Mercator Ocean International France, who is the distinguished speaker for today's lecture. Dr. Radhakrishnan, former Secretary, Department of Space, Chair of the Board of Governors, IIT Kanpur and Roper, member of the National Security Advisory Board, and more importantly, former Director of INCOIS. Dr. Sailesh Naik, former Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences and the Director of National Institute of Advanced Studies. Dr. Satish Shenoy, former Director, INCOIS and MOS Chair Professor. Chair and members of INCOIS Governing Council, Finance Committee, RAC. I see Dr. Shetty, Dr. Shubha, and several friends here. Colleagues from the Ministry of Earth Sciences, directors of MOS sister institutions, and more importantly, my dear INCOIS colleagues. I take the opportunity of this brief address to warmly welcome all of you to the 24th Foundation Day commemoration of INCOIS. In fact, we would have loved to have this event physically at INCOIS, but I guess we'll have to wait a bit longer for such an opportunity. However, we are glad that you are able to join us virtually. And then thank you very much for your precious time. Your presence is really indeed very motivating for all of us. So all of you who are on this meeting and several others who are not on this call, you mean a lot to INCOIS and then contributed to what INCOIS is today. So the INCOIS of the Ministry of Earth Sciences was created this very day in 1999 as a very unique institution that occupies a niche space in the busy scientific landscape of the country. And 23 years into our establishment, we have grown into being the only institution in India dealing with operational services and one of the leading institutes world over. Involved in the design, development, and delivery of public goods services to our coastal and maritime communities. INCOIS pursues a focused mandate on ocean observations, research, modeling, information, and advisory services. And our services, just to name a few, such as tsunami early warning, storm surge, potential fishing zone, harmful algal bloom, so on and so forth, they have immense socioeconomic benefits for a wide range of stakeholders. And our services enhance the security of lives, livelihoods, and operational efficiencies of a wide range of stakeholders, starting right from fishermen on one extreme of the spectrum to very high-tech industry like shipping industry, ports and harbors, navies, coast guards, and so on and so forth. We also play a big role in the international space in oceanography. INCOIS is one of the tsunami service providers for the entire Indian Ocean region as part of IOC UNESCO framework. We are part of several other international frameworks, along with other institutions like Mercator Ocean and several other member states in the region. We are one of the Category 2 centers for the entire Indian Ocean region under the UNESCO. And we're also working closely with IOC UNESCO on the UN Decade initiative, of which Pierre is also going to talk about in his talk. And so our proposal for establishing an Indian Ocean region Decade Coordination Center is under assessment. So into the future, we have lots of plans for the future, thanks to our support from all the governing bodies, our own Ministry of Earth Sciences. So we are going to focus on accurate prediction of essential ocean variables. It is of paramount importance for driving our blue economy initiatives, and at the same time, sustainable management of our ocean resources through science-informed policy responses. So our ocean observation networks, modeling and research efforts will continue to be driven by user needs and national priorities. So our long-term goal, for example, is to actually focus on the development of a fully unified modeling and operational forecasting system that can forecast anything from local beach conditions to regional currents and waves and ocean circulation on a global scale across a range of timescales. So we're also working on improving our current services, looking at ecosystem-based, fisheries forecasts, impact-based services for, different kinds of maritime, blue economy stakeholders. So that is something we'll continue to work on. So, and collaboration and teamwork have been our forte. So, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for your guidance and support in all that we do in the service of our great nation. Now, having said that, I now have the honor of inviting Dr. K. Radhakrishnan, who has been our founder director from 2000 to 2005. He was instrumental in designing the vision, mission, scientific programs like PFZ, OSF, IT infrastructure, and putting the institution on a steady growth path before moving on to the larger responsibilities he took over at the Department of Space. Sir, I actually request you to kindly, address us on this happy occasion, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivasan, and all my beloved colleagues, Dr. Ravi Chandran, Secretary, Department of Earth Sciences, the former directors of INCOIS, former Secretary again of Earth Sciences, directors of sister institutions, and the speaker of the day, Dr. Pierre Bahurel. First of all, let me thank you for this opportunity to again meet all of you. Last time in 2019, February, when Dr. Shanai was the director, I had the opportunity to visit INCOIS. And I could see the way INCOIS has grown vertically, horizontally. And what we started with a small team of 10 young people of those days has grown so big nationally, internationally, and it supplied 3 secretaries to Government of India and also groomed 2 directors. It is something creditable. During my time, one of the best things that we could contribute was for the tsunami warning system. As somebody said, that was the need of the hour. A very young institution, novice in the field, came together, ensured national synergy, and built one of the best systems of the world. And we showed to the country, to the world, that given the grit, determination, and teamwork, we can do that. That is the USP of INCOIS as compared to many other national, international institutions in the field. So what I would say today to the young team, which is 100 plus, is that keep that momentum, keep that name. You will be respected by the country. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, for your, again, very inspiring words, very short and sweet message that you have delivered, very powerful. thank you very much, and we continue to look forward and then interact with you, sir, in days and years to come. And may now invite Dr. Sailesh Naik again, who has been our former director of INCOIS from 2006 to 2008. Sir, I hope you're able to connect now. So he was very instrumental in guiding the development of, Dr. Radhakrishnan just mentioned now how we started building the Tsunami Warning Center. So we actually delivered the Tsunami Warning Center in 2007, and it was built in a record time. And then he actually, Dr. Naik, helped in strengthening the institutional capacities at INCOIS in areas related to satellite oceanography, ocean modeling, especially the digital ocean kind of initiatives that have been started at INCOIS, setting up of high performance compute facilities for starting the ocean modeling. In those days, we were talking about 2006, 2008. So these computational facilities and so on and so forth. And we continue to gain strong recognition in international space under his leadership, and continued to receive his counsel even after he moved to Delhi as the Secretary of Ministry of Earth Sciences, and we still continue to benefit from his advice. Thank you very much, sir. Over to you for your remarks, sir.
Thank you very much, Srini, and really very happy to join all of you, and my greetings to all of you on 24th, the Foundation Day. INCOIS has been doing extremely well. It's one of the best institute who can today in the world who can providing the services, especially in the all oceanographic related issues, right from fisheries to the sea state to the coral reef alert to, and sometimes I forget how many services has been followed. And the important part is that all these services has led to tremendous socio-economic benefits to the country, not only to the community who have been using, but also to the country as a whole. And I'm sure that the INCOIS will continue to provide newer and newer services with the newer and newer challenges which we are coming. I know the next major issue is of providing the climate services, which is very critical in the coming days when we will be facing challenges from climate change. So my best wishes to all of you, and extremely happy to join all of you, as well as see my old friends. Radha has been seen just now. I heard Shubha also, and many others would be there. So very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your message. And we actually look forward to working with you, sir. And thanks for all the support and the guidance that you deliver to INCOIS. May I now invite Dr. Satish Shenoy, who has been the director of INCOIS from 2009 to 20, and then he has been very instrumental in strengthening the research and ocean modeling capacities at INCOIS, which form the basis for several new products over the past several years that have been implemented at INCOIS. He has contributed in a big way to the construction and expansion of the activities, the building activities at INCOIS, setting up of one major thing was the setting up of the International Training Center for Operational Oceanography, which also has its own campus now. And then the INCO-Ocean is actually categorized as an ocean, the Category 2 center under the UNESCO. So over to you, Dr. Shenoy, for your message.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas Kumar, and very good afternoon to Dr. Ravi Chandran, Secretary MOES, and former Secretary and former Director of INCOIS, Dr. Radhakrishnan, as well as Dr. Sailesh Naik, other colleagues at INCOIS, and today's speaker, Pierre, Dr. Pierre from Mercator, and other distinguished guests, members of GC, and other invitees. A very good afternoon to all of you, and I wish you all a happy Foundation Day of 24th, the Foundation Day of INCOIS. Today we are completing 23 years of INCOIS existence, or INCOIS is 23 years old now. So we have just crossed the teenage, and we are now becoming more matured. So I am sure that the INCOIS services have already matured, and they are making great impacts in the societal sector as well as economic sector. Not only the services which have been provided now, and I see a greater role for INCOIS, especially in when the blue economy is the talk of the town these days, and also the climate change. And rightly, I am glad that INCOIS is pursuing the climate services, especially the regarding the oceanogenic climatic issues. There is a large project under a deep ocean mission INCOIS is leading. That's a very great thing for the INCOIS. And also INCOIS will be able to contribute in a big way for the blue economic activities of our country. So the INCOIS has a great future and a great responsibilities to deliver. As Dr. Radhakrishnan said, I encourage all younger colleagues to keep up the momentum and see the responsibilities being bestowed on all of you by the nation and contribute to the nation building. And the INCOIS should continue as a unique science and services institution. So I wish INCOIS will continue that momentum in future also. So we are not just a service providing organization. We also build the science, especially the ocean science, which is necessary for building these services, and that is the responsibility being discharged by INCOIS. And as Dr. Srinivas Kumar mentioned, INCOIS also has become a leader in imparting capacity building and training in operational oceanography, especially after the establishment of International Center for Training. And I'm glad that that also is going very well. So with these words, let me once again wish all colleagues and director of INCOIS a happy Foundation Day and a great future for the institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shenoy, for your guidance and kind words and for your contributions. Actually, with that, I thank all the directors of INCOIS for actually your wonderful messages that you've given and for all that you've done actually to bring INCOIS to where we are today. I'd like to now turn to our chief guest, Dr. Ravi Chandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences. I would welcome Dr. Ravi, who has been, we have been closely associated with for several decades now. Dr. Ravi has a PhD degree in physics from the University of Pune, and he worked in all the MOS institutions for a long time in IITM Pune, and then in the National Institute of Ocean Technology, Chennai. And then since 2001 to 2016, he was our own colleague here at INCOIS, working on ocean observations, and then established the modeling system, what is known our modeling system today. It was actually set up by Ravi those days when he was here, the ocean modeling. And then he moved over to the National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, NCPOR, from 2016 to 2021 as the director. And then we are very proud that now he has taken over as the Secretary of the Ministry of Earth Sciences. He is Vice President of the SCAR, Scientific Committee on Antarctic Research, and International Science Council for the capacity building. And then he is a council member of International Arctic Science Committee, is a delegate India on the SCAR, Indian representative on the Council of Managers on National Antarctic Program, and on the Antarctic Treaty System. More over and above everything that I mentioned, Ravi is a very avid researcher. He has contributed 196 research publications with a H index of 33, and then about 5,000 citations. We are very closely aware of Dr. Ravi Chandran's work on with the ocean observations, ocean modeling, and then his contributions to Indian Ocean Goose, Indian Ocean Research Panel, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much, Dr. Ravi Chandran, and then I look forward to your address. Please, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas. Today's guest of honor, Dr. Pierre, Bahurel, Director General, Mercator Ocean, former directors of INCOIS, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Dr. Sailesh Naik, Dr. Shenoy, Dr. Shetty, RAC Chairman of INCOIS, Dr. Subhash Satyendranath, Dr. Srinivas Kumar, Director INCOIS, my colleagues from INCOIS, MOES, other institutions and friends and all invitees. A very good afternoon to all of you and good morning to some. It is my great pleasure to participate in this 24th year of Foundation Day of INCOIS. First and foremost, greetings and congratulations to Team INCOIS for all your contribution to the nation. You have made significant contributions in the areas of both science and services. On this Foundation Day, I should not miss thanking the founders of this great institution right from the beginning. Dr. Radhakrishnan, former director INCOIS and former chairman ISRO and chairperson of the Board of Governors of IIT Kanpur and many more. And Dr. Sailesh Naik, former director INCOIS, former secretary Ministry of Health Sciences and director NIAS, and Dr. Shenoy, former director INCOIS and now MOS chair professor. And of course, the present director of INCOIS, Dr. Srinivas Kumar, who all had a vision to lead the institution, imparting the scientific knowledge to provide best possible ocean services to the society. Their contributions are greatly acknowledged to shape the INCOIS to this level. Of course, I have privilege to work with all these 4 directors. Of course, 3 of the directors, they are the leaders for me. I worked under with them, and Dr. Srinivas is a close colleague of mine, so he is directing the INCOIS. I am fortunate to work with all 4. Of course, Foundation Day is also a day when the past, present, and future of the institution come together, taking vows to uplift the institution to the greatest possible height and dimensions. INCOIS has many objectives, right from observations, understanding, and whatever understand, incorporate in the model, and try to provide the best possible operational services, products, or forecast. I could see how it has transformed from 2001 to present. A humble beginning from one room at NRSC, ISRO, to the present building via Nandagiri Hills. We have come to these things. Of course, now it has grown much bigger after INCO Ocean and other things. Of course, right from the beginning, INCOIS mandate is to translate science to services in the areas of ocean development. It has contributed immensely to not only services, observations required for many things, and acquire good amount of data from the ocean, and also translated data into information and produced many new insights in terms of publications and started ocean model and deliver various ocean related services. And now every year and year by year, they are trying to improve the services in terms of quality and quantity. Of course, INCOIS has now emerged as one of the leading operational oceanography center in the world in providing services of many, like potential fishing, state, tsunami warning, of course, data services, storm surge, coral bleach, of course, algal bloom, and there are many geospatial coastal application products, and also the climate indices from the global ocean. Of course, internationally, both Tsunami Warning Center and the ITCO Training Center are well recognized by the IOC UNESCO. Of course, the former is service provider for the Indian Ocean, and the later one, ITCO Ocean, is the UNESCO Category 2 Center for the training and capacity building. I am sure in the coming years, INCOIS has to contribute significantly in the areas of blue economy, especially in the deep ocean mission. So one of the important components of the deep ocean mission will be led by INCOIS, that is to develop ocean climate change advisory services. Of course, you know that very soon, maybe in a month or 2, we will be, it will be in place, the blue economy policy will be in place, and it is imperative that we need to improve our forecast and advisory services to propel the blue economy initiative of the Government of India for sustainable utilization of ocean resources, both living as well as non-living. and also provide science-based policy advices to the government. For this, we need to install or deploy more observations, especially coastal moorings to measure not only physical but also biogeochemical and other variables for developing ecosystem model for operational services. Of course, I understand that INCOIS has started in unified modeling approach for providing ocean-related services for various time and spatial scales, from local to global, both analysis and forecast. I think it has come in, of course, the plan is put in place and it has to be realized soon. Of course, it is imperative need to collaborate with other MOS institutions, other national lab, universities, to develop ocean-related science and services. Though our understanding has significantly improved the forecasting system, especially in the ocean-related things, but we need to do much more, especially in order to improve our forecast system, we need to mount to the next phase. I think we need to have a transformative change. That is, though we are able to fairly forecast and some of the linear system we could understand, but still there are many non-linearity exist. I think we need to understand them from the observation. Once we understand that observation knowledge, that we have to incorporate in the model so that we can have a better forecast. Especially I'm more looking forward the data from the flux mooring, what we have uptime. I think we need to bring out more science from that. While congratulating the team INCOIS, I look forward more contribution from each individual of INCOIS team to provide better ocean services and science. We should have a constant interactions and discussing with the, of course, as I mentioned, with the other institutions, and we need to collaborate internationally much more than, because we have reached that stage. We need to have more and more collaboration with the internationally. I am absolutely sure that with your commitment and support and contribution, INCOIS will scale new heights in the years to come. From the ministry, I will do my best for INCOIS growth journey in the coming years. I wish to assure you that positive and productive ideas will be nurtured and encouraged. I extend my warmest greetings on this occasion to once again all of you. And once again, I wish you a happy Foundation Day. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ravi Chandran, Secretary Minister of Earth Sciences, for your message. Very inspiring, and then the direction that you have given, that we need to, increase observational capabilities, understand processes, parameterize these processes into ocean models, high-resolution models, and then go ahead with, better forecasting products, and then we contribute to the national mandates of blue economy and deep ocean mission. So I actually would like to affirm on behalf of all the colleagues at INCOIS that we are there. We will take up these challenges as we have been continuing to do so far, and then deliver what is actually required for the ministry and for the country. Thank you very much. I would now like to move over to the next and the most important part of today's program, that is the talk, Foundation Day lecture by Dr. Pierre Bahurel. Dr. Pierre Bahurel is the Director General of the Mercator Ocean International, a non-profit organization based in France, owned by marine institutions from France, Italy, Spain, UK, and Norway. And the Mercator Ocean delivers operational ocean monitoring and forecasting services worldwide. So Pierre has worked on space altimetry, modeling, and data assimilation applied to operational oceanography, and was among the founders of Mercator Ocean in 1995, which he has been leading and developing since then, fostering digital oceanography, general interest services, and multinational cooperation to create a unique center in Europe. Mercator Ocean International is the European Union center entrusted for implementing the flagship Copernicus Marine Service, recognized by thousands of users worldwide, including several in India, and leading a large federation of European public and private partners. Pierre has been involved from the start of his career in international cooperation, starting with the International GODE, Global Ocean Data Assimilation Experiment, which is now called Ocean Predict, where INCOIS is also a partner. Several colleagues from INCOIS have been working with Pierre. He is the chair of the Goose expert team on operational ocean forecasting system ETOOFs. He's deeply involved in the international structuration of operational oceanography towards a sustainable ocean, supporting the EU vision for a green and digital transition of the society, and is committed to contributing to the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. Pierre, thank you very much for agreeing to be, the guest of honor on the INCOIS 24th Foundation Day. And then we are very much looking forward to your talk on ocean prediction and UN Decade opportunities. Over to you, Pierre.
Thank you very much, Srinivas. And first, I just want to say thank you for this invitation and how impressed I am. I have a mixed feeling. First, I am really impressed by you all and your distinguished guests that are Dr. Radhakrishnan, Shailesh Nayak, Satish Shenoy, and the Secretary of Ministry of Earth Science, Ravi Chandran. And I'm impressed because really it shows not only that INCOIS has made it something very fantastic, but also that all the directors and also your secretary at the ministry are very talented. You're very lucky, Srinivas, to have these people with you thinking about the strategy and able to share the kind words. So I'm really impressed. You can be proud of it. And also the mixed feeling is that I feel at home with you all. I mean, it's looked like a family joining for a celebration, and I'm very happy to be with you. And you have to understand that Mercator Ocean was founded, we said 95, but we became an autonomous body in 2001, 2 years after you. So I understand exactly what has been the life of INCOIS. And you made it something which is really fantastic because you are thinking about this really the core activity, which is observations, modeling, the best science, plus the impact and the users, the applications from Tsunami to, so what you have achieved is really fantastic. So, first, thank you for inviting me. I know that you had a prestigious guest for the previous Foundation Day. So, I will do my best to deserve this moment with you all. And also the last word before starting my presentation is to say that Srinivas, this is a very good idea to celebrate, despite the fact that we are remote. Thinking that this is important because this is the Foundation Day to celebrate and invite all the group, all the colleagues to be there is really something which is important. So congratulations for having this idea that this is important, that we must do it despite all the things. So I really think that this humanity is important for what we are doing all together. So I have a few slides. If you allow me, I will now share my presentation, and I will explain what I would like to do with you. I used to be a scientist, but frankly now with me, you're more with someone managing the organizations and trying to think about the best way to develop these things. Mercator Ocean International, we are 100 and we are based in Toulouse, France. But during this presentation, I would like to share with you who we are, but also how we are working all together and where we are going. We follow a different, maybe something which is a bit different from what you did in INCOIS. I will explain at every step. But the main thing I would like to share with you is the following: is this idea that I would like to discuss with you and learn from you. I think that with this UN decade, this new decade that is opening, we can build as a community altogether a real international capacity for ocean prediction, something which is really strong as a community to recognize the fact that we, the ocean prediction centers, we do exist, but we are really ready and we deliver. And so a kind of international marine empowerment, saying that yes, it's time for during this decade to be recognized as operational centers delivering services. I know this is the case for INCOIS, this is the case for Mercator, this is the case for many others, but as a community, sometimes we are not completely identified. This is my feeling. This is what I would like to share with you. So I would like to see how we could use this UN decade to really organize this marine empowerment to develop state-of-the-art impactful ocean information. So this is my main idea, and I illustrate this on this slide to say that typically 2 decades ago, we have kicked off all the scientific activity, and it has been really well explained by the previous speakers, former directors, and Dr. Ravi Chandran, that science is at the heart of everything. So we have been investing on that, and this is still something which is the bottom of what we are doing today. And then 10 years ago, we enter. That's my vision, into more services, more impactful services. We were opening dialogue with the users. We demonstrated the value of this ocean prediction for the society, for the blue economy, etc. And we are reaching a stage now where I think that we are ready for bringing this at the level of the governance. I don't know how to do that, but my goal for today is to share with you what I see from our discipline and where I see we could act maybe, and I will be very delighted at the end of this to get some feedbacks from you, because I really think that this UN decade of ocean science is, of course, something calling for innovation, for the best science, for the best things we could do with science and technology. But I really think that at the end of this, say 2030, the world will have changed for the governance of the ocean. So what could we do all together with what we have to contribute to this and build something which is really strong? So I have 3 parts. I mean, the blue, the yellow, and the red. So I will follow this if you allow me. But before starting, I just want to convey 2 short messages from my team to you. They asked me to say 2 things. The first is, so this is not specific in INCOIS, but this is something about the collaboration between France and India. You know how space observations are important for what we do in ocean predictions, and we simulate SARA altimeter data in our prediction system since the start of this mission, and the impact on our product is significant. So we want to thank you for having decided to go for this collaboration, because I was there in the discussion with the French Space Agency and trying to convince them that it was time to really invest on these LTK missions. This is because they identified the collaboration with you, India, that suddenly the things have started, and we have something which is exemplary. And so the map that is nearly readable shows the information content. I mean, the more blue it is, the more information is assimilated into our system. So the impact on the mesoscale is very strong for this mission. So this is the first thing we have in mind. And the second is more specific. It's from one of the researchers at Mercator, Romain. He expressing his pride to contribute with the global ocean system that we have to the work carried out by Afrousa, that is who is from INCOIS, and this intra-seasonal seesaw of ocean mass. So congratulations, thanks. I'm impressed by this. I mean, this seesaw of ocean masses from Pacific to India that could really perturbate the polar axis motion of the Earth, and this is something. This is exemplary where we had some data, some expertise. You are very skilled on that, and with the INCOIS activity at the research level, we were able together to produce this with also IAD. So this is a personal message from the team to you. We're looking forward to continuing this kind of collaboration, of course. Then, if I entering into this, the first part, which is what science offers to operational ocean prediction systems today, what do we have? I'm not thinking about explaining to you what we have as a science. You know this better than I could explain, but I'm thinking about the governance and what we could identify to bring at the level of the governance. So if I go with one keyword here, I'm using the Ocean Predict because I see that this is at the international level really the place where, with this association of ocean prediction centers, the place where the best scientists meet, and they are in developing standards, they are developing things that are exemplary. So I would like to give you some examples. And I'm starting by these examples that I like because this is the operational oceanography some years ago. And the small animation here, you can see what was the knowledge of the Coast Guard, Canadian Coast Guard. So they are looking for someone at sea, and they don't have the right information. They don't have the current. So they are looking for the south. You see the bubble there, but the drift of the current says that it is going eastward. So they were not able at this moment to really see the impact on the current. So it was before ocean predictions, and now if I'm looking at what we have, they are using multiple things. They are very talented, so they are really the very best. I'm using this example of the U.S. Coast Guard just to explain that in addition to what we're delivering, we have coastal systems, we are multiple variable things, so we are really well equipped to support operational agencies such as the Canadian Coast Guard, the US Coast Guard, and others. So in 10 years, we can see a difference. Now, this is the Ocean Predict, and you have your colleague from INCOIS there. And we have a group of ocean prediction systems, and we meet very frequently. And with this, we have a first group of centers that can work all together. So when we are looking for ocean prediction centers, this is the map we have. I think this is very good. I don't think this is enough, but I think this is very good to have this first network of super centers to think about ocean prediction, and also to prepare messages for space agencies, for instance, or others, just to represent what we do with ocean predictions. And we have defined something which is very well organized and not quite stable. We are dealing with observations, we are developing models, and we are serving applications, and we are focusing on this, the core part, which is all the information, where I really think that this is well seen, understood, and we know where to invest.
Due to my husband has COVID.
Okay.
Going to work from home? No, already last.
Okay, I'll continue. And so this is something where we are, as a community, well organized to focus our activity on the observations, on the models and the applications, and politicians, if they are not experts, and this is not the case in India, I can see that, they can understand where we are doing things. We are also combining different sources of information, and this is also places for investment on space data, investment on in-situ the observations, on HPC, it has been mentioned also, and all the human expertise, research programs. So when I go to, for instance, myself, to the European Commission, that is the organization where we can find funding for investments, this is how they see our operational oceanography, space, in situ, modeling, and research, which I think is quite instrumental. And also the thing we are using a lot, I don't know how you communicate yourself, is to use these colors just to simplify and say, well, when we are looking about the ocean, if you think about us as the ocean prediction centers, think about the blue, the white, and the green ocean. Not only the currents, not only, I don't know, biology. This is something which is consistent, and if you want to support the ocean prediction, you have to think about this physics, the blue, the ice and cryosphere, the white, and all the connection to the living resources, that is the green with CO2, nutrients, etc. And this is something where we are quite mature as well as a community to now couple all the components and invite ecosystem modeling to discussion with physicians. And this is something where science is very active, promising, but this is also a very difficult activity. Other other things is, it has been mentioned also by Srinivas, this idea of essential ocean variables that are very useful also to convey messages that are operational, I mean, that could really be understood. We are not thinking about multiple things. We want to monitor the ocean environment through essential ocean variables, from currents to nutrients, and we are delivering something that can describe the situation in real time for today, the present time, for the near future forecast, and also in the past with reanalysis. I have this experience of the discussion we had at a European level to explain to the different agencies that are there to support our activities, and we simplified and we try to explain exactly what we are doing as ocean prediction centers, which could be different of what, I don't know, the Navy could do, or ship routing, etc. So we try to really explain what we mean by ocean or marine environment, and this is necessary for us to be better understood and supported. So this is also something that I think is quite stable today, and science has made it a lot. Now we are systems, and this is the example of what we are doing in Toulouse, in France, with Mercator. We have a lot of data that can be that are made available. So here we can see so this is the situation for next week, and this is the forecast for the currents worldwide. And I try to zoom on India just to see what we see. I was impressed. I don't know if this. I hope this is not something that is completely unrealistic. I hope this is something that could be discussed with you. But we typically now we have this capacity to monitor with our system, which is 1/12 degree, with the physics, so the tricolor, the physics, the ice, and the biochemistry, and this is done real time, and everything is delivered openly and freely, because this is how science can really progress. And also this is something that we have discussed for the business model that I will develop this later. So this is possible. We have this part, and I could describe all the systems that are running today in the world, but I think that if we are thinking also about the heritage that we want to put at the level of governance, I would like also to insist on the fact that we at INCOIS, Mercator, and others, we are really also now in a situation where we are monitoring precisely the quality. This is not only data that are thrown out on the websites. These are the best scientists, and you are the best scientists there, assessing the quality of the data and developing metrics to make sure that the things are verified. And this is we should be proud of this activity. So I give you here the example of what is done by the group of Ocean Predict, where different classes of metrics have been defined, class 1, 2, 3, 4, and this has been discussed at the international level by this group of scientists. They have decided all together that we should have this kind of indicators attached to the different products. We see also the number of delay time quality check observations, that an increase of this. So we are now in a situation where we can we are a bit better to validate our systems. And you can see also in the bottom one the type of data that we have. Temperature is okay, salinity okay, the currents UNV is a bit low, and the BGC, biochemistry, is really low. So it's difficult to say that we want to reach something which is interesting for the biochemistry or for the green ocean, for ecosystem or for fisheries, without having this enough observations to support the development of our system and the quality of the product. So this is one message that is very clear. And if we look at the different things, I don't want to enter into the details. I just want to illustrate our capacity today. I will use the zoom on this one. This is the these are the different systems that we have selected. This is done at Mercator there. So we have a system from UK, from France, from the US, from Australia, from China, and from Canada. And we zoom on the Indian Oceans and we observe the quality of these different systems for the forecast in the Indian Ocean. And this is the time how the different systems are benefiting for the comparison and the discussion to be improved. And maybe the most visible is on the left side, years 2015, 2016. The system from our Australian friends in peak, you can see here that the error is very high at the beginning, and then they have fixed the error, the difficulty they had, and then they are now in the group of systems that are in the same mean. What also the good message also is that if you look at the blue line, this is the ensemble mean, and when you combine all the systems, all the prediction that you have, you have the best that you could have. So so the message is clear. If we play together, if we combine all our systems, if we share the data and the predictions, we will have the best information possible. Which is, I mean, of course, this is something that is calling for cooperation. So this is the thing we have, and other examples just to show the maturity of this discipline today. An example of the kind of indicators that are produced on a routine basis, where you can see in gray, this is the number of observations that are used for the validation, and the different curves there, they show the error associated to the different forecast lead time. In the blue is the analysis, and then the more you grow, the more then you go to 12, 60 or 108 hours, and you can see that, of course, the 12 hours forecast is better or is more accurate than the others, but also that we have reduced the error, so improved the forecast in the second phase of our system by integrating more data in the assimilation. So, of course, the assimilation of data does improve a lot the quality of the forecast. But again, the illustration is that we have today in different centers, and I'm sure you have plenty of this kind of indicators, activity that show how operational we could be, even when this is about science. And one other example is the validation of our currents in the Indian Ocean. You can see the sea level anomaly on the left side, and the difference, how we have improved the situation through the different version of our system. So this is something that you do as well, which is to have the new release of the system when you can improve this and this. So we can see that we are reducing the error. And on the right side, I love this one. I think this is interesting because this is the currents, and also not only the intensity but also the direction that are compared between the observation in red and our forecast in purple, blue, where we are. You know that this is something which is difficult to when we compare really this kind of things, and we are quite happy to this with these results. And again, when I ask my colleagues, could you give me some examples? They have computed this immediately and provided, and I think we should be proud as ocean prediction centers of this capacity to be operational. Again, this one is to illustrate the fact that altogether we are monitoring the world ocean with all our systems, and we are able to intercompare the transport of ocean masses with the different systems. So on the right, you can see different estimations of the transport by different systems that are today in this intercooperating exercise by Ocean Predict. And on in yellow, this is the climatology, or I mean, this is what you have with the observations and the different publications we have. So we must be humble because we have some differences, but we must be proud because we are progressing well. And the last example I have on this part is something that has been done recently, where we can see the agreement between all the reanalyses for the Indonesian through flow, which I know that you're aware of the difficulty of this part, and we are quite proud to see that we are now in a situation where the different systems are well. So this intercomparison, I believe, is an asset of our scientists that could be moved to the governance. Here you have the way forward for the modeling. We are preparing at Mercator this 136 model that will be operational in a few years, but we want to increase the resolution. I just want to zoom on India to explain that we are running the 1/4 for coupling with atmosphere, and we are running the 112 on an operational basis. All the results I was showing is based on 112, and we are preparing the 136 that could be operational in some years. So this is where the science is going, and I will be happy to share with you more about this. But let's stop this part. And I'm coming back to what I'm trying to present, which is this idea that we should be prepared during this decade to build something which is exemplary as a governance. I think what we have in science, we should reinforce the sharing of observations, tools, and know-how. So the scientific common is really something that is really important, I guess. So if we could define precisely all together what is this common and really foster this sharing, I think it could reinforce our community. The adoption of common metrics for assessing the quality, I gave you the examples. So the scientific standards, I think we are well equipped with this. We are very good internationally, maybe not enough recognized. And this is my plea to explain clearly that the ocean community is ready and organized at the international level for this. And of course, the scientific lead, which is all the innovation, coastal biology, digital twin, and all the things that we have in mind. So scientific common, scientific standards, scientific lead is something that I believe science could deliver to marine governance. Then I will be faster for this part. This is all about the users. The value of operational oceanography comes from the users. This, you know that. And a lot has been done to know them better and drive developments according to their needs. So who are the users of our operational oceanography systems? Here I will use what we are doing with the European Commission, the European Union. 10 years ago, Mercator Ocean has been identified by the European Commission to develop and lead the new European service for ocean prediction. So we have been interested. It has completely changed the volume of activity of Mercator and the position we have in Europe, because now we are really interested to develop this with our colleagues from the different centers in Italy, UK, Norway, well, you name it. And so we have now in a situation where we have integrated all these different data and systems to deliver one single European service at Mercator Ocean. So this entrustment by the European Commission has been really important in the life of Mercator Ocean, and we have been renewed until 2028 last summer. So we are really eager to develop more this global ocean capacity for ocean predictions, and develop also the cooperation with you at the international level. So some example of what we are doing here. We say, okay, we have a wide range of applications. You know this by heart, and you have more, and you have different other examples. We have different motivations, and here again, I really think that compared to where we were 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I mean, we know far more how to develop this marketing presentations, where we want to act, where the impact is expected. We have this kind of presentations where we explain the different markets or targets or user categories in the environment. from biodiversity to ocean currents. Who are the users that are interested by this? The impact for the society and also for the economy. So that are the three pillars of sustainable development. So we know how to now to market this for this blue economy. If we look at this European service, we observe in the past years, so we decided to go for something which is completely open and free. And that this is a core service where we deliver this data that are about temperature, salinity, currents, and all these essential ocean variables. And then all the added value that could be commercial or that could be a public service or that could be for research is done by our users. And with this open and free service, we saw a strong uptake by the users. So we have 40,000 subscribers in the world, and we have a bit less than 1,000 in India. And I just want to share with you this information about the density, because the number of people, I mean, it depends. I have divided the number of users per country by the active populations, and to understand where we are. So, okay, in Europe, you can see that this European service is serving France, Italy, or the UK with something where you have a density of 100 or less. And then you are around 2, which is a bit less than China. It's more than Bangladesh. I have no idea if this is because you're very good in INCOIS, so Indian users, they don't need to go to this service, or if this is a different reason. But I think this is interesting to share this idea, because now we are monitoring precisely these kind of things, and I will give you more information about who is using this European service. So you have the Global Ocean forecast, you have observations, satellite and in situ that are proposed by this our Copernicus service. And when we ask the users to register, we ask the idea they have about their motivation. So you can see on the right all users. So you can see that 65% of our users, they declare that they are university. 11% say we will do business, and the public sector is 15%. So this is the intention. So this is only a declaration. We are not checking if this is true or not. And this is quite similar in India. If you look at the number of users you have, well, this is 64 university. The business is only 3%, and the public sector is stronger. So you can see where you are compared to this kind of thing. So it means that people that are users that are in India looking for something from the European service, they are more on the scientific and public sector basis than on the business. If I'm a bit more specific, you can see that there is a growing activity. The number is growing, but you have, of course, INCOIS and other centers that you know in your country and universities. And now the question is, what kind of product will you will you download from India? What kind of things? If we look at the users in the world, the average users of this Copernicus Marine Service, all continents, the first thing is download is the real-time forecast. So the forecast that we are doing at Mercator, which is the global Ocean 112 system. So this is the most downloaded product. So on average, the users are coming to get this global ocean forecast, and then you have the reanalysis, number 2, and then you have sea level altimetry. That is really something that is number 3 at the global level. Looking at what is the behavior of Indian users in your country. So we have selected the extracted. Then this is different. You are first looking for sea level altimetry. So you're downloading first this part, and then the forecast, and then the reanalysis. So this is interesting because it means that most probably you have everything you need as the very best forecast from INCOIS in India. So you don't need to get the global ocean from Europe, but you're happy to this kind of sea level altimetry. Or this is more for science. Well, I cannot explain this. Maybe you know better. But if I was happy to share this information with you. And the last information about this is what the users are doing with the data. So we have different blue markets, and we ask the users to explain what kind of activity they intend to do. And so on the top, this is India, and at the bottom, this is the mean situation for all our users. We have 40,000 users at the bottom, and a bit less than 1,000 in India. So climate and adaptation, this is one proposition we had, is come first from India and users. Ocean health comes second, this is the same, so you're in the, but the number 3 for you is extreme hazards and safety, whereas for the mean situation is natural resources and energy. So then we can go down the list and marine conservation, biodiversity, etc. So there are some subtle changes, but roughly the Indian users are looking for something which is quite consistent with what the mean users are looking for in these kind of things. So this is completely possible to play with all this data because we are monitoring our users very precisely. So I'm coming to my conclusion for this part. Again, if we want to build this marine environment, I think that during this UN decade, we could try to adopt common approaches for assessing reliability and impact. So this KPI, what kind of KPI do you use yourself? Are they close to what we do in Mercator, close to what they are doing in Canada, US, or Australia? And could we define something that could be the same, if necessary, and if useful, to be better and stronger as a community? Adopt common definition of the ocean product and services. We say essential ocean variables. We know that this is not enough to describe our product and services. Could we have a definition that is common of a portfolio? What kind of things could we share? And of course, the same lead on the innovations. We have the digital twin story that is entering into our game. What kind of innovation does it mean for our services, for our users? Can we share some things to keep these ocean prediction services as the leaders? Then I will go down the third part. I'm conscious of the time, Srinivas, so I'm monitoring this. The third is about the governance. The ocean is higher than ever on political agendas, and this is recognized as a major priority by inspired leaders, citizens, and scientists today. So how can we contribute ourselves to this? I just want to first say that I believe that IOC is the patron organizations to organize this, and this is where I want to see this lead of this marine environment. And then I go with the personal things, where you can see on this picture, this is the French president, Emmanuel Macron, and with him, this is the French Minister of the Sea, Mrs. Girardin. And it was in September last year, and the guy that you can see his face, it's me. And I am explaining to the French president why ocean prediction is fantastic to serve the society, and how we can build with this tool, which is ocean prediction, a great cooperation between the different countries. I will tell you the following story, but it was a great moment because President Macron was preparing the chair of the EU presidency. You know that in Europe we have this European Union with 25 countries, and every 6 months the chair of the council changes. So you have the different countries, and from January this year to July, this is France. So there is 6 months very intense where the French government tries to organize different things for everything. But we manage. I can't say it's me, but we managed to highlight the fact that the ocean is one of the priority of the French presidency of the EU. And next week, and this is why I was a bit slow in responding to this invitation. It's because next week there is this One Planet Summit in France where President Macron has invited different leaders in different countries to reach commitments for the ocean. And they want really to say that ocean prediction is something that is important. There is lots of things about the maritime, things. So this is not only about our ocean prediction, but ocean prediction and digital twin is one of them. So you will have next week commitments about these kind of things, and they are thinking about reinforcing what we do at Mercator Ocean in Europe to be a bit better. And IOC, Vladimir Yabinin, is one of the guests. So this is next week. But if we look at what will be the sequence for the next months, we will have Palau, the Our Ocean meeting in April, where we know also that here the leaders will arrive with commitments. And of course, we have in mind that in Lisbon this year, we will have, just before summer, the UN Ocean Conference that has been postponed, but now it is now, where we will also meet so I really think that this is a blue year, that we have something to do, and all this UN decade and all this momentum that we are talking about is contributing to this. So what can we do? I'm starting with where we are. So I'm the chair of this expert team on operational ocean forecasting system in GOOS. This is where we want to provide standards, guidance for developing efficient, reliable ocean monitoring, this kind of thing. So this is where we are. I'm not alone. I'm with your colleague Sudhir and others, and we are a small group, but we are now trying to think about bringing to, at the governance level, what we have about science, about services, but what we know, just to make it clear that it is working well and that it should be endorsed at the highest level. So we have this group, which is IOC, GOOS, ITUF. What are we doing, for instance? It's just a start. Explain who we are. There is no map of ocean prediction centers. It does not exist. I mean, so we have a few. It has been done by one of my team in Mercator, but it's just a start. And we have also the major centers in INCOIS and others. But we need also to have the list of the coastal centers, just show how active is our ocean prediction activity. So this is one example. The other is the guide that we are preparing with the group of ITUF, to explain what we do and how we can implement this. So there is a guide that should be released this year before summer, hopefully, and they are checking everything, written by the best authors, where we are explaining the ocean monitoring, how it works. We are developing the ideas about the architecture. You need observations, modeling, etc., just to let the world know that this discipline is really mature today. And we have also this idea that we must foster capacity development. This has been mentioned as one of the priority for INCOIS. I think this is very important that to have this community. So we have already organized this a training course with IOC, and it was a great success, with people explaining what they are doing and sharing their best practices. So I hope we will be able to continue with this. So this is what we have with ITUF. I think also that we cannot start from the global things and imagine that everyone. So we need to identify where to and how to organize ourselves. And this, I just want to mention I think this regional approach is a good one. I know what we are doing in Europe. Some things it's better to work with European way of thinking, and that I'm sure that in the Indian Ocean this is the way you do, etc. So this map of the GOOS Regional Alliance, I think, is a good asset to start with. And if we could identify what I have in mind, the different standards, the different KPIs, the way we work, the different systems, the stakeholders, in the different regions, and organize ourselves, I think we could then raise the level of recognition of what we are doing. So this is one of my ideas, to play with this regional dimension. And then I'm reaching the end with this ocean decade. This is, of course, a framework. We have a framework of time. We have 10 years, a framework of different initiatives. I can mention the programs. I have in mind that the 4C, Ocean Predict, will take care of open ocean. I'm monitoring the Coast Predict. We are part of it for the coastal. I'm involved in DITO, where we will talk about the digital twin. So there are some initiatives that will stimulate all the things. Something that I would like to explain to you also is that we are preparing. I understand that you are preparing something, and I will be happy to hear more about the regional activity. We have proposed to, we have discussed with Vladimir Ryabinin at the IOC, and we are proposing this decade collaborative center for ocean prediction. And it has been identified by the Secretary of IOC as something necessary to really do exactly what you are doing in INCOIS, which is to transform science into services, mentioned by your prestigious guest. And we will try with this collaborative center to do that. So the collaborative centers in the organization of the UN Decade is one of the body that could that will support the IOC UN Decade unit to cooperate, to coordinate the programs, the actions, etc. So we will do that. We will set up this Decade collaborative centers. I hope it will start before summer, and I will be happy to discuss more with you, Srinivas, to see how INCOIS and your colleagues could be involved in this part, because of course this is fully collaborative. There are different things. I don't want to enter into these details because you know this, but we will, with this Decade Collaborative Center on Ocean Prediction, contribute to the main outcomes about predicting the ocean, of course, but also the safe, accessible. We have the challenges, so it's clear that our ocean prediction is cross-cutting all this, and so we need to be better organized to explain and develop the standards. The keywords, typically, the way I see the thing is that we will have a group of 3-4 people at Mercator plus others, and we want to explain the mapping of all the initiatives that are taking place. And what you're doing yourself in your regions, I think it should be part of it. So I have explained this to the European Commission. We will look with what they are doing at the space agencies, at the United Nations, not only IOC and UNESCO, but other parts, etc., just to have this mapping of the initiatives that are contributing to ocean prediction, because I think this is massive. So I'm reaching the end. For the governance, first point, the patron organization for me is IOC, so I want to support this part, and I know that you know very well IOC and you have prestigious responsibility there. I want to use the UN Decade instruments that are maybe more innovative, more easy to move, such as this Decade Collaborative Center, to innovate and bring new ideas and bring new people and connect more the community. And then taking advantage of this IOC member states governance and the existing components, GOOS, ETUF, and IODE, or other things, to bring our assets to recognition. So the strategy is to use the UN Decade to bring innovation and to use the IOC member state governance to endorse this at the governing level. So this is what I'm trying to do, and this is the dream I have, at least. And I'm coming to the end. So this is the main message, this international marine empowerment. And with this, I just want to thank you very much. I hope that next week at this summit, we will have good news. There is a plan to upgrade the governance of Mercator Ocean and to invite governance at this level to really have a stronger organization. So I hope to be able to share more information with you very soon. Thank you very much for your attention and again for this invitation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pierre, for that wonderful presentation, I should say, actually. We have, and then also, you covered end-to-end aspects related to ocean predictions, what you do at Mercator, and then how actually the UN Decade is a great opportunity for all of us to actually rally around and then make sure that the ocean prediction actually gets into, not only the services, but then the governance and then the policy making, sustainable development, and so on and so forth. So we still have time for a few questions, Pierre. So I will actually request my colleagues if they have any questions that they would like to ask you. So we can actually take this for about 5 minutes to 6 minutes, Pierre, and then there are a few questions. So Raghu, yes, hi Raghu, good to see you. Go ahead, Raghu. You're muted, Raghu.
Yeah, some people forget to mute. I forget to unmute. But yeah, nice presentation. I mean, this is a question for INCOIS as well as operational forecast. There is always the temptation to do skill scores, but in operational forecast, are you monetizing any of it, or is it seen as a government-funded service that should go on? In which case, how do you know whether the users are finding it useful? Is there enough feedback to say your products are really being used? Ultimately, that would be the best bet than quantitative skills anyway. If people want it and they want to pay for it, then there is nothing like it. So how do you know that part?
Thank you, Raghu. Is this a question for me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Srinivas can also answer it.
No, the thing
I can add later.
This is important because the business model we have is very strong and very clear. Everything we deliver is free. And this is free because this is funded by the European Commission, because there is, of course, a cost. So we are paid to develop, to process all the heavy part with all the processing, the modeling, the observations, etc., to prepare the actionable data. And then comes the market. And then the users, they are bringing their commercial activity, their commercial value to deliver expert services that are there paid by the end users. So our users, our interlocutors, they are these intermediate commercial companies or public services or international organizations that are adding their own expert value to reach the end users. So are they happy or not? This is what we try to understand. And we have a lot of feedback. This is the only things that we ask when you register to the service is exactly this. Okay, this is open, this is free. You can ask everything. We will support you, but you have to feedback, to explain. And every time you have something that is wrong or good, then please say, because our customer, the European Commission, this is what they are asking. Explain to me what is the market, what they are doing, what they want. Do they need more biology? Do they need more coastal, etc.? So we can say that they are happy. Of course, they are coming back. They stay or they're coming back. But also because we have constant workshop or dialogue, and we have this the service desk that is this constant dialogue. So, but we are not talking with the end users that are, I don't know how many they are, because these ones, they are talking with the intermediate. So the business model is clear. We are the core service, free, to support expert services that are free or not, depends on their activity.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to add to what we do at INCOIS, Raghu. So, I mean, most of our services, again, are free. They're public good services, like if you see. And then our delivery model is actually, we mostly, deal with the end users. Like, for example, in the case of PFZ, it is fishermen, and the information is provided free to them, actually. Similarly, common standard, low resolution products from ocean state forecast services, they're all free. Tsunami warnings, it's free. So most of our services are public good services. We deal directly with the users in several cases, or in some cases with the intermediate agencies, like it would be state governments or disaster management agencies for tsunami, so on and so forth. There is a very small amount of, the commercial kind of activity, but that is for value-added services that some of these, commercial companies might need. But that's a very small part. And validation is concerned, we have observational, equipment, like for example, of wave products. We have real-time wave rider buoys that we deploy and then use these data sets to really validate, and then based on certain performance metrics that we have, we try to actually prepare reports saying, okay, these are the accuracies and inaccuracies. So yeah, that's how I guess most of the operational forecasting centers, we are more or less operating on same lines.
May I add, Srini, one more point to
yes,
this?
Sir, please.
It's a very important point, but also I think we have to see any advantage and benefit which the users receives by using this service. And I think that advantage is much more larger than the few dollars or few rupees which you get by selling this service. And this is what we have seen, that the advantage, like Pierre said, the kind of advantage which India has, the fishermen and their social life and everything runs into billions of dollars. And this is not done by us, but this was done by the National Council for Applied Economic Research. So I think it's very important for us also to see that the information use, the kind of benefit which it brings to the community. So that is how another principle on which India basically works, and that's why all services are free.
So the indirect benefit, yes, that's right.
I just want to clarify, Shailesh, that often farmers or fishermen say, yeah, we want the information, but unless they feedback saying how they use it, how much useful it is, they may be just asking for it.
So that is very simple, as soon as the Srini stops the service for a day, you will see how many emails and will go to Ravi. So that itself shows that it is being used.
Yeah.
And plus there is a regular survey. Actually, one of the survey now in NIAS itself I am doing for Orissa, that how it is really being used. So you have to do that. That part I agree. You have to continuously assess the usefulness of a service.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If I can add,
as recent, sorry, Pierre, please go ahead.
Yes, because I think this is important. So we have this kind of survey every time someone is using the data. They are asked, which is traditional now, are you happy or not? And so we are monitoring this. So this is 4.8 out of 5, and if we go down 4.7, this is the panic at Mercator. But I think I just want to insist on the fact that what the user says is that thank you for the data, but we love the service. So the added value of centers like INCOIS or others is the value of the people and the expertise you have. The data, of course, the users, they know that the data, there are the data, they can be good, they hope that would be the best one. But the value of the service, I observed during these last years that this is what they are looking for. If there is someone behind the data, they come and they come back. If there are data thrown out on the internet, this is something. So I think the value of a center like INCOIS, where you have the best experts, and that in addition to this deliver services, I think this is very strong.
Yeah. Yes. And then as recently as yesterday, we had a user interaction workshop. We try to do it once every year. And because this time we had to do it, we couldn't do it physically, we had it online. And we had about 140 or 150 users sitting with experts from INCOIS, delivering fisheries and all ocean state forecast, tsunami warning, talking to our people, telling them how they have been using these services and then what improvements they need, either in terms of quality of service or in terms of resolution or new products. So that's actually, something that we do regularly. And then we try to, judge the requirements of the users and then develop services or may put our efforts in developing those services which they need. So I think that user interaction should be a continuous process that we all should do. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you. And one final question, Pierre. Of course, there are several other colleagues who might have questions, but due to want of time, Bala, please.
Yeah, it's a very good presentation. Only one question I have. What is your the plans for the impact-based ocean forecast system? For example, you are telling, okay, we are predicting currents, waves, everything correct. But when a fisherman is actually lost in the sea or something is lost in the sea, we have to tell them where to go and search. So I think we have impact-based systems. So we also started. So what is your Mercator? What is your plans for the impact-based ocean forecasting or ocean predictions?
Okay, it's a good question because, and this is related to the previous one, because we cannot do this impact base without having a collaboration with the intermediate users and the service providers that are using our systems. So the plan is to go service per service. I mean, for instance, we go with a group of professionals working in aquacultures, and we work with them to see the impact of our systems and the way to. And so I just want to do this, and then we go with fighting against pollutions, and we try to do that. So the plan is really to set up this kind of activity per categories, but we cannot do this alone. The only thing we can do, and I think this is not enough today, of course, is to say that the forecast is better than the previous one. And so this is the scientific metrics that I was explaining. But you're very right that, Bala, that in the service part, in the KPIs, we should be strong and well organized at the international level to have this impact-based approaches, practices that should be adopted by the different centers. I don't think we are the best at Mercator for this. If you have good models, we will follow. But I agree that this is where we do. And we're not the best because since we're not talking with the end users, there are these intermediate users that are in between. So we really need to work with them. So it is a bit more complicated than doing everything at home. But it's very good, excellent point.
Thank you, Pierre. So I thank you very much. I think we will stop there. There are several other questions, but I think due to want of time, we have the secretary and very other high-level dignitaries and yourself, Pierre. So you might have other programs for the day. So I would actually thank you once again. The points that you made are very well taken and very valuable. I mean, we need to work collaboratively because there are only a handful of ocean forecasting centers world over. And then within those centers, there is actually a very finite number of experts who are actually, it's a very rare breed actually of expertise, operational oceanography. And then so we need to all work together and then strengthen these collaborations. E-TOOFs and Ocean Predict and what are programs that we're talking about, dedicated collaborative centers that you are setting up, INCOIS is trying to set up. So I think we should actually look at all opportunities for our, scientists and, users, everybody to work together. And thank you very much, Pierre. I will stop there and hand over to Sudhir Joseph to quickly propose the vote of thanks. And while Sudhir is doing that, I would actually request all of us to switch on your cameras if it's possible. And then we'll try to, I'll request our IT team to take a snapshot just for memory. Yeah. Kiran, can you take a picture?
Yeah, sure, sir. I'm taking.
Yeah, take a couple.
Okay, thank you, Pierre. Really enjoyed your talk. Thank you very much.
Yes, Sudhir, can you please go ahead with the vote of thanks, please? Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas, and good evening to everyone. We are moving towards the culmination of 24th Foundation Day of INCOIS, and we have listened to former directors who nurtured INCOIS from its infancy to its adulthood. We also heard from the CEO of Mercator Ocean International, and he has drawn several parallels with INCOIS, with his reputed oceanographic agency, which is operational for the entire Europe. Another speciality today's event is that we have two of our first batch scientists from INCOIS playing vital roles. One at Ministry, Dr. Ravi Chandran as Secretary of MOES, and Dr. Srinivas as Director of INCOIS. So 24th Foundation Day is special for INCOIS family, and in many ways it will cherish our memories. With this brief note, let me get into my responsibility, that is to say vote of thanks. On behalf of the organization, I would like to thank Dr. Ravi Chandran for gracing this occasion despite his pressing engagements at Ministry. He is always a guidance and inspiration for all INCOIS family. Incidentally, this is his first public function at INCOIS after taking charge as Secretary of the Ministry. We are extremely thankful to our esteemed guest, Dr. Pierre Bahurel, who is the Director General of Mercator Ocean. In spite of his busy schedule, he had kindly agreed to deliver a foundation lecture which is highly relevant to today's ocean decade. Dr. Radhakrishnan shaped INCOIS from its infancy to the teenage, and Dr. Shailesh Naik led us from our teenage to adulthood, both in his capacity as Director INCOIS and Secretary MOES. Both of them are always available to us with a candle whenever we need some light in our path. We thank you, sirs, for gracing this occasion and showering your blessings on us. Dr. Shanai was the longest serving director of INCOIS who led us from 2009 to 2020, and he's still with us as MOES Chair Professor, extending his guidance to us, sir. We thank you, sir, for being with us on this occasion. We have several other dignitaries today with us. Dr. S.R. Shetty, he is the chair of INCOIS RAC, along with RAC members and GC and FC, and directors of our sister organization. I thank all of you on behalf of INCOIS family for joining this with us for this event. Director INCOIS was very keen in guiding us for organizing this event, and I thank him for all his support and encouragement. Our IT team and administration did a lot of background work in organizing this event, and I thank all of the team for extending their support. I also take this opportunity to thank group directors, division heads for their support. Let me also thank all INCOIS staff who contributed one way or the other for making this event successful. Thank you, and thank you all once again for making this event a memorable one. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sudhir, and thank you, everyone. Thanks again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank Pierre. Thank you, Dr. Ravi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Pierre.
Thank you. Sarah.